Come on in and grab a seat. We have folks that I know are tuning in live online. If you are watching us online, we want to welcome you to True North. Everybody that's here tonight in the filling station, especially any of our guests. And I've already met 4 guests, so in just a minute, we're going to all stand up and meet one another. We do not want to embarrass any of our guests, but we'll all stand up and meet one another. And I want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to look around you and find somebody either you don't know or somebody you've not seen in a while and give a chance to say hello to them when we have our 4-minute party. We have quite a few things happening tonight that I'm very excited about. So whether you're here or watching online, during the 4-minute party, be sure and go to the camera back there and say hi to somebody that you know that is watching at home. If you're watching at home and you want to send us a text, we'd love to know that you are here. And it's great to be together tonight on this somewhat chilly November evening. If you've got a cell phone, if you wouldn't mind turning that off so that it is not going to be a distraction to us, that would be fabulous. And if you are one of our students who are going to help me up here greet our guests, if you'll come up here right now and get ready. Anybody that might be visiting tonight, if it is your very first time to be here, or if you were here before but did not get a Baskin-Robbins gift card, all you got to do in just a moment when we all stand up is come up and meet these teens. They'll give you a visitor form to fill out. You can take it back to your seat, and they'll give you a gift card just for being our guest. So everybody here knows the drill. We want to make sure that all of our guests are greeted tonight. Adults, we want you to find somebody around you that you don't know or just somebody to say hello to because we want everybody to be greeted. Lots of things are going to happen tonight. I'm very excited about where we're going to land tonight, but we've got a long way to go in a short time to get there. So let's all stand up. Let's find 2 people we don't know and let's have a 4-minute party. Let's go. Watching at home, we're glad to have you with us. Send us a text and let us know you're watching. We've got some special guests tonight, some special surprises, and we're going to finish up our series on Habakkuk. So get a Bible, turn to Habakkuk chapter 2 and 3. We're going to try to finish it up. But we're glad to have everybody with us. Happy Thanksgiving in advance. And I got to get back, but we'll see you all later on. I hope everybody's doing well. Let us know how you're doing, and thanks for being with us tonight. Enjoy True North. Grab a seat. Go ahead and grab a seat. Find your seat. All right. Well, went and gave a greeting to all the folks that are watching at home, and to Annie and her family. Annie McIntyre and her family are watching at home. Annie, I have this vision that your family is all sitting around the same table like you do here in the filling station. At least I hope that's the case. If that's the case, then send me a picture. We'd love to say hi to your family. Okay, we are going to jump on in. Blake, if you want to come up and help with some people that are getting older. The one thing you can't cancel during the pandemic is people getting older. And so we are excited that it is time to celebrate our birthdays in the borough. Oh, wow. Look at this, everybody. Come on over here. Come over here. It's Jack's birthday. And Josh.
Oh, and Josh.
Unbelievable. We have 3 awesome birthdays. So let's hand out the Band-Aids. We're going to line up in order of height, apparently. Okay, very good. So let's get that microphone. Blake, go find out. Josh, let's find out how old Josh is going to be. Josh, how old are you, Josh?
I'm going to be 18.
Going to be 18. All right.
So
all right. Very
what
good.
day is your birthday? Tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow. So he's going to be 18 tomorrow.
Oh, 18 tomorrow. All right.
I'm going to be 13 on Friday.
13.
Okay.
Going to be a teenager. Going to
Wow.
be an official teenager. Wow, that's awesome. All right. And then Jack, how old are you going to be?
5.
5.
5.
All right, wait. Hold on. Jack, I got one other question for you, Jack. What time is it? What time is it right now, Jack?
My watch is wrong.
Oh, his watch is wrong.
36.
Oh, it's 9:36. Okay, well, we better get going.
On
we better,
Jack
we better
time,
get
it's
running.
9:36.
All right, very good. So this is really great. We're going to sing Happy Birthday, but, Jack, I know you all are all three of you are special. But Jack is here. Jack, I'm going to just put you up here so the camera can see. Can I do that? Here you go, right up here.
I love your sweatshirt. by
Oh,
the
I
way.
love your shirt, Jack. Here, let's get the microphone there. Blake can hold it for him. What's going on in this shirt here? Who are all these people in this shirt?
Spider-Man, Iron Man, Hulk, and Captain America.
Oh, you got them all.
Hunk is on there.
Okay, you know how many people there are on that shirt? 5. There's five people on that shirt. All right, so Jack, well, I'm excited. All of you are special, but we invited a special guest to help celebrate your birthday. Is that okay? Can we do that? Okay.
Yes.
Do we have is our special guest here? I don't even know if they're here yet. Are they here? Oh, our special guest. Look right here, Jack. Look right here. Oh my goodness, look who it is. And he brought you something. What did you bring? Look at that. Oh, wait a minute. He autographed it. It says, to Jack from Spidey. Spidey, did you sign this? That was awesome. So, okay, maybe if do you have one of these, Jack?
Yes.
Oh, he's already got one of these.
But did
Well,
you
there
have
you
it?
go.
Is
No,
it
but
signed?
hey, it's autographed, so you can just keep it in the box and it'll be valuable one day maybe.
It is personalized, so it loses a little value.
Yeah, it is. It says Jack on it. Way to go, Spidey. You personalized it, and now it's probably lost some value. But okay, anyway, we're gonna let you. Hey, you know what though? We got to feeling bad that we gave you this gift. You got this gift, but you have a sister at home and a brother. But your brother's like really little, right? Luke's really little, so he's probably not going to be missing out. But Kate, Spidey, do we have anything we might have for Kate? Oh, Spidey's got something for Kate. This will be exciting. Here, hold on to that. Hold on to that. You can have that one in case your other one breaks. You can have that. He's got. Oh, looky here. Yeah, be careful on the stage there, Spidey. It's a little slick. Check this out. This is going to be for Kate, so you can go give this to Kate and tell her that Spider-Man brought this for her. Okay? Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any question you'd like to ask Spider-Man? Anything you'd like to say?
No.
Okay. All right. All right, Spider-Man. We don't really want to talk to Spider-Man at all. So, but Spider-Man, can you at least hang around and help us sing? All right, we're going to let you come right over here so you can sing here. Jack, I'm going to let you hold that, and then we're going to all sing. Remember, the way we sing in the NBYG is with 3 simple words. Those words are,
You're still cool,
and it goes like this. All right, here we go. Let's do this. All of you all get in there with Spidey. You all get in there too. It's your birthday. We're going to all do the happy face. All right, y'all get in there. Blake, lean in there with them. Okay, let's put the presents right over here so we can do the happy face here. We'll give them back. We'll give them back. Okay, we'll put that right over here. All right, here, everybody's going to smile. Okay, everybody do the happy face. Okay, Jack, happy face with your hands. Okay, here we go. All right, now smile big, smile big. 1, 2, 3. Okay, very good. All right, very good. Now I'm going to get a selfie. I'm going to get a selfie with Spotty, Jack, and Blake here, so you guys get in here. All right, everybody smile big, smile big. Here we go. Ready? Can we see everybody? We got everybody? I think I took a screenshot. All right, let's try it again. Here we go. That worked. That's a picture. All right. Hey, happy 18th birthday, happy 13th birthday, happy 5th birthday, Spider-Man. Thank you so much. Everybody, a big hand for Spider-Man.
Yeah, and
way to go.
Happy birthday to Eli Johnson.
Hey, oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Eli Johnson's
Eli
birthday.
Johnson is watching at home, and it's Eli Johnson's birthday as well.
So happy birthday.
And so, hey, Eli, you're still cool. Spider-Man thinks Eli's cool too, right? All right, very, very good. All right. Hey, take off. We'll see you later. All right, go fight crime. There he goes. Well, that was pretty awesome, wasn't it? Yep, just so overwhelmed. Yep, pretty much the most exciting thing that's happened at True
Do you,
North. in a
do you
long
like
time.
being on True North?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
That's good.
He did like him out
No,
there?
I took a big risk, and he said yes.
What'd you ask?
If he likes being on True North, so.
Oh, yeah, you like being on True. Why do you, I should probably stop asking questions, shouldn't I?
We should just find out.
Why do you like being at True North so much, Jack?
I don't know.
You don't know? What's something we do that's a lot of fun? What do you enjoy doing?
Play games.
Oh, playing games. Well, too bad we're not playing a game tonight. We don't have a game. But hey, next time you come back, we'll play another game. But your birthday is Sunday the 22nd. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, and you're going to be 5 years old. What is something that you're asking for your birthday? What do you hope you get for your birthday?
It's a prize.
A surprise. Okay. All right. Well, very good. It's like it's a surprise for us, or you just want something to surprise you?
It's a prize for everyone.
Oh, a surprise for everyone. Okay. All right. That'd be good. So, Ben, get on that. Everybody, we can't wait to find out what we're going to get
So excited.
for Jack's birthday. All right. So, Jack, you're still cool. We're going to load you up with these after I'm going to help you down here. Here we go. Ready? Okay. There you go. And that's for Kate now. Remember, you got to share that with Kate. And then next time you're here, we'll add something for Luke also. Okay? All right, everybody. Everybody say happy
See you,
birthday to
Jack.
Jack.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jack. Okay, there he goes. So excited, he can barely talk. All right, let's see. Next, we have the Thanksgiving worship night is going to take place on November the 25th. We're not going to be in here next Wednesday night, but if you are in town, Sean is planning something at the East Campus Auditorium, so join us there if you're watching online. That service, I think, is also going to be live streamed as well, I believe. Is that right, Mike?
Yes.
It'll be online, so you can watch it, join it there, or join in person. Wherever you travel for Thanksgiving, be safe. And we'll say more about what's going to happen the following week. But now we have our pictures of the week. All right. Our pictures of the week have a very simple theme. And our theme is, give me a break.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Give me a break.
All right. You like candy.
I do like candy.
Okay. You're into Kit Kats, right? You like Kit Kats?
I like Kit Kats.
Okay. I have a friend who eats a Kit Kat, like he'll open the Kit Kat and you have the 4 bars, and then he'll hold the 4 bars and just take a bite out of it like that.
Wow. Okay.
Like does anybody else do that just to be irritated? He'll like hold all 4 of them and he'll just like take a bite out of like right in the middle. It's so annoying. I tried it one time and I couldn't do it. How many of you, we all pretty much break the bars off. How many of you break the bar off and then just take a bite of the bar? Let me do that. How many of you eat the top layer off the bar and eat it? Some people do that. Some people will like eat. Sometimes. Okay, all right. Is there any other way? I probably should. I'm not going to ask a question. Do what? The whole bar or the whole Kit Kat?
Like the
All right.
one single bar or the
In 2 weeks, we're going to bring a Kit Kat. We're going to let Isaac demonstrate how to eat a Kit Kat. Okay. So Isaac, what's your favorite? There's different flavors of Kit Kat, right? Do you have you? There's what?
Isn't there like a birthday cake one?
Chocolate and white chocolate.
Yeah.
You say that's all there is?
No, there's a birthday cake
No,
one.
there's not. We have other favorite flavors.
Oh, I didn't-
Japan has all kinds of flavors. Here's some Japanese Kit Kat flavors. Try these out, Priestley. We've got this one right here, which is apple.
Sin
There's
Shu
apple
apple.
Kit Kats. Or you've got these, which are apple pie. These are apple pie Kit Kats.
Not what I would have thought.
Not bad.
there was
Cookies and cream.
There was an egg on that package. I would not have thought
Yeah.
apple pie.
I would eat a cookies. Who would eat a cookies and cream? Kit Kat. Okay, good. Let's keep going. Who would have a citrus Kit Kat?
Probably
Who would eat a
not.
citrus Kit Kat?
It's like orange and lemon.
I'm pretty sure Isaac's going to raise his hand to all of these, but who would eat a raspberry Kit Kat?
Okay, I
Anybody eat
would.
raspberry?
Yeah.
I just wish I had a picture of Houston's face.
Houston.
Houston, your face is like, that needs to be on the stand beside the Kit Kats. Like, all right, it's going to get better, Houston. Get ready. How about would you eat a strawberry cheesecake Kit Kat? You'd eat that. All right, you'd eat that. Raise your hand if you.
Oh,
It's a corn on the cob Kit Kat.
just in time for Thanksgiving.
Who would eat a corn on the cob Kit Kat? All right, very good. What about this one, Houston? What about a baked potato Kit Kat? Oh, you do that? Oh, okay. All right. Somehow the raspberry Kit Kat had him all grossed out, but he's like, baked potato? What? Okay. All right. Got it. What about a baked sweet potato? Raise your hand. Anybody got that? Who would eat the purple sweet potato Kit Kat? Oh, okay. It gets better. It gets better. Green tea.
Oh, that might be good.
Green tea. All right.
I bet that one frozen.
Who would eat a sweet bean jelly?
No.
Sweet bean jelly Kit Kat. What about what about pumpkin pudding? I don't even know what pumpkin pudding is. That makes me want to barf, but and that's a green pumpkin. What's up with that?
Oh, I didn't know it
red
was
pepper.
green.
Red pepper.
I
Okay.
would give that a whirl.
What about rum raisin?
No.
Okay. What about wasabi?
Oh, Jake would say yes.
Okay. Now we've got the hot dog flavored Pringles. Jake had to leave, but
Right.
Jake would love these. Jake's our Pringle expert.
Yes.
I was wanting to ask him about some of these. You also have white chocolate peppermint. Who would eat those? What about, what are those?
Tsunami?
I can't remember what the, you know what? I'm not going to say what those are because that would make you sick. So I'm not going to say it. That's
Are
what those
you
are.
serious?
Yeah, those are mayonnaise flavored Pringles. What about the chocodilla? That's actually pretty good. It's a chocodilla. You can feed it to your llama. All right, let's go. Here's pancakes and sausage on a stick. Chocolate chip flavor.
That's not bad.
Chocolate chip.
I would do that.
Hey, Houston, are you in on these? You got that? Okay. Miley, not so much. She looked like she was about to get sick. What about Mountain Dew flavored Cheetos? Mountain Dew flavored watermelon Oreos? Oh, you like them? Okay. What about ice cucumber Pepsi? Yeah, that's
Ava
gross.
Boyle's in.
Hey, okay. Here is a, you know what this is? It's a spaghetti popsicle. We've got a camera back there. We have a camera over here. I want a camera that's up here that just is aimed to get Houston's facial reactions for anything that happens from now on. You're going to love this. Honest answer, Houston. I want to know, would you try a pizza or spaghetti slushie from 7-Eleven? Who would try the spaghetti slushie? Okay, all right.
I would be afraid it would be chunky.
What about raw horse meat ice cream? Sam Chapin. Sam, you say you would. If I found a way to get raw horse meat ice cream here, you would eat some? Make a note of that. Let's make a note of that. I want to see if we can find some of that and get that here. I do not know the dry pork and seaweed donut.
Oh, Donut Country's starting serving these next week.
Yeah. Dry pork. Okay, now these are gross.
Yeah, these are horrible.
Oh, Carrie, you like these? Well, this explains a whole lot.
It's like
The circus peanuts, I can't handle them.
It's like covering a pool noodle in chalk.
But if I would eat these over these.
I don't know what those are.
These right, I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. It's a whole bag of circus peanuts that are shrimp and banana flavored. Shrimp and bananas, everybody. Houston's brain is starting to short circuit. Okay, all right, there you go. There are our pictures of the week. So there they are. We grossed everybody out. There we go. You know what? Because the thing is, those are Kit Kat flavors from other countries. I mean, we like to learn about other countries, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, here at True North, we like to be very educated. So we've got a new segment, Mike. Let's go ahead and roll it. Our new segment, Let's Learn About Belgium. All right, everybody, we're going to learn about Belgium. Let's have Elisa. Elisa, where's Elisa? Elisa, come on up, Elisa. Let's greet Elisa, everybody, from Belgium. Let's give her this mic. All right, we're going to give you this microphone. You can take your mask off. We'll let you hold on to this mic. We got number HH1 mic. All right, Elisa, we're so glad to have you with us. You're from Belgium. The way we do this is I just ask a few questions about your country. We try to educate everybody here at True North. Those tuning in at home, be so glad you tuned in tonight because get a notepad and paper ready because we're about to learn about Belgium. Have you ever been to Belgium?
No.
I've never been to Belgium either.
I don't know that I've been in Europe.
Elisa, just a couple of questions I have. One, are there some really amazing foods in Belgium?
Yes.
Okay. In America, we like to play a lot of sports. You probably have some of the same sports. Are there unusual sports in Belgium that you have in Belgium that we don't have here?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that. The other thing that I would ask is, are there some really big differences between the United States and Belgium?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, everybody, we've learned a lot about Belgium. Thank you so much, Elisa. Thank you so very much. You may go back and have a seat. We appreciate you being with us tonight. We've learned a tremendous amount about Belgium. I'm going to have to make a note. If you want to recap everything that we just learned about Belgium, you should go to our YouTube channel, click on the True North playlist. You can go back. You can invite friends over. You can invite friends over and say, do you know anything about Belgium? And if they said no, then you say, have I got
A 30-second clip for you.
have I got something for you? We really are so glad to have Elisa with us from Belgium. And Leah, I think, has brought almost all of the international folks over. Let's recap the countries, Leah, that we've learned so much about. Spain? Oh, okay, but we learned about Spain. We did learn about Spain. What other country? Italy? And then one other country. France? Okay, was there another one? Okay, and Belgium. Okay, wow. Germany. That's right. Leah, because of you, we have learned so much about the world. A big hand for Leah Terry, everybody. All right, that's quite impressive. Hey, everybody, here we go. Now, a few words about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Listen very carefully. Now, as we know, and as we have said many times, this could change. Especially the way things are going, this could change. But the plan is right now, with the approval of the city schools, we've invited about 80 kids each night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Last year we invited 100 over 3 nights. This year we've invited about 80 on 4 nights. So we've spread them out a little bit. Not all of those kids are going to show up, but they're going to be here. And we're going to have a toy drive party on all 4 nights. If you got it, say got it. If you are in this room and you're a guest and you've never been to a toy drive, don't think this announcement is just for us. It is for anybody who says, I'd like to do that. You can ask the person beside you before you leave tonight, tell me about this toy drive party thing. What is that? They can tell you about it. Most people can tell you about it. Last year was your first toy drive. Okay, and you shared with us, a memory last week. Is there something else about the toy drive that you really enjoyed? I probably should have prepped you with this question. Is there something else about the toy drive you experienced last year that you really enjoyed?
I got to be one of the people that greeted as they came off the bus, and so that was really, really incredible to watch. Knowing what was happening in here, knowing what they would see in here, getting to see them walk in and experience Elsa and Olaf and all the other characters that come and visit when we do Toy Drive.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. So we are going to do the toy drive a little differently. We told you this last week. If you're watching online, you can still participate in the toy drive if you want to be with us in person on those 4 nights. We're going to all meet in here. These chairs will be put away. Most of our tables will be put away. This room will be open. It'll be decorated. We're going to decorate Sunday in class on Sunday morning, and then we're going to decorate again on Sunday afternoon or evening. We'll need as many people that have experience to help us decorate on Sunday to finish the decorating. Then the following Sunday, we plan on going over the toy drive, what's going to happen when we get there, because it's a little different. Very similar. We'll all line up in here as our guests arrive. As soon as they arrive, we'll say we've got two little girls from the same family. So one of our young ladies from the MBYG will take them, check them in, and then immediately go to their toy room, get their toys. Then they'll get a picture with Santa or other characters if they choose. And then on their way out, they will get their coat and their Bible and their storybook and a boxed meal. So they'll do everything we normally do, except we won't be sitting here and having a big party and singing songs. And as soon as they leave, you get in line and get another child, okay? If you have never done the toy drive and you say, I don't know how to do that, show up and you'll pair up with another teen who does. So on Monday night, you'll show up and you'll go. So 2 of you may have 1 child, and then you'll go back through. If you don't get a child on Monday, then you'll move to the front of the line on Tuesday. So everybody's going to be pretty much guaranteed to have a child to walk through. And they'll go through one of our toy rooms, which are these 4 rooms over here. They'll pick out 3 items, and then we'll have a big party. We'll celebrate with them. And as of right now, they are still allowed to come here. We're going to all be masked, and we may have some of you wearing gloves as well as we're in the toy rooms. Adults, we're going to need you to sign up. Our goal is to raise about $12,000 to pull this event off. And as of last Sunday, we got about $500 last Sunday. But we also have some money from last year. So if you're looking to donate, even if it's to sponsor one child, you can sponsor one child for about $40. It actually costs more than that to feed them, give them a Bible and a coat and 3 toys. But if you are able to give $40 of your own money, that'd be great. If you and some friends want to go and split and get some toys for a child, that would be fabulous. Or if you want to go shopping with a bunch of people and each of you sponsor one child, that's great. But I know a lot of you have access to some way to make $30 or $40, or if you want to half it with somebody. We're going to try to raise the money. We're doing the shopping. You all went shopping today.
We did go shopping
and
today.
Something cool happened. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, we had 4 buggies full of toys, and we're trying to check out, or carts, maybe not buggies. Anyways, we were checking out, and a lady from like an aisle or two over, a cashier or two over, was just kind of like, "What are you guys doing that for?" And so Jake Grubbs was explaining what the toy drive is and how awesome it is for our community and how awesome it is that we get to do it. And so she kind of said, "Cool," and then. As we were starting to pay for it, she gave us a donation to help pay for some of the toys that we bought today.
Okay,
So she's sponsoring a student.
That's awesome.
So should you.
And Jake, you said jumped right in and started answering the question as soon as she said, "What's going on?"
Yeah, he was he's excited about it as we are. And so I think it's one of those things that not a lot of people have a lot to get excited about right now, unfortunately. And I think it was really special to watch Jake be so excited about it, and I think it meant a lot to her that he was so excited about serving his community.
When we went out with some of the interns a couple weeks ago, we experienced the same thing. They didn't give a donation, but I just said, be prepared for somebody to ask us what's going on, and it's just cool to watch people's reaction when they see 4 carts of toys or 5 carts loaded up going down. And sure enough, we were asked. The coolest thing was a couple of years ago when a lady was in an aisle and she was asking for some advice on what to get for a certain age child for a birthday, and then she was like, do you work here? And I go, no, this is for, something at our church. And she said, oh, North Boulevard? And I was like, yeah. And her child had come to the toy drive the year before. Oh, wow. Then we went to check out, and that lady there, she said, you all are from North Boulevard. And we were like, yes, how do you know? And she said, my kid came to the toy drive. And she said, but he's not at the same school that he was, so he won't get an invitation this year. And I'm like, well, of course he will. We gave her an invite, and she showed up with her family. So chances are, when we're at Walmart, it was just crazy to meet 2 people on the same trip that had children that had come through the toy drive. If you want to be a part of something that's bigger than you and really cool, show up. And if you have a friend, this is to our students. This is really the best time to invite somebody to say, hey, come help me out tonight with this thing at my church. It's a great way for somebody's first entry to be doing that and not just coming and listening to a talk or participating in a worship service. That's important, and we want them to be kind of guided into that. But this is a great way to start out. So that's gonna happen. Was there anything else we were going to say about the toy drive tonight? I think that was it. We are going to decorate Sunday, so we need your help Sunday morning during class. We're going to be cranking out the paper chains. We're going to be starting to set up the lights and all the stuff and transforming this room. And it's really, really cool what happens to this room over that. Okay, so I think that is that it? Okay, very good. We look forward to your participation in our toy drive. It's going to be a little different, but we actually may have more children show up. Who knows? But it's 4 nights. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Be looking in your email for specific instructions. We're going to transition into worship. Some of our teens are in the room. And, that's right. Thank you, Mike. And so we do have the pray day is about to wrap up. Here are the boards. I'm going to be, right now the plan is I'm going to be preaching on December the 6th, and you're going to see these boards on the stage because we're going to let the whole church kind of know and say thank you to so many who have participated. What I wish we had done is put the names and had everybody write their age on there, but that's a little personal for some people. It would have been cool to add up the number of minutes that have been prayed for the group this whole year. And so we have about 17 days left or so. Here are the folks that prayed last week. These folks are praying for us this week. And about how many days are there?
There's like 16 days left. Jack Piercy is praying Sunday.
Oh, that is right. Let's go back to looking at on Sunday, November the 22nd. Ben and Jack are going to be praying. So Jack, it's his birthday, so he's going to have to pray for 5 minutes. If it's after when he was born. If not, 4 minutes. So, you time it out. You figure it out. Ben will be praying for a little bit longer than that. But that's going to be awesome. Jack, thank you so much for helping out with our pray day. We really appreciate it. And so we've had people that have prayed, that we've had a couple that are Jack's age that have prayed, and then we've had some that have prayed, his own great-grandfather who has prayed for, over 90 minutes. So it's really cool to see that. So if you are willing or wanting to sign up for a pray day, see Blake or myself, we'll tell you how you can do that. You'll fill out one of these cards, and we're almost done with that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's crazy. Your sister prayed the other day?
Yeah, she prayed 2 days ago.
Okay, that's really cool. So there you go, 16 days available. If any of our students are in the room and you are willing to pray for one of your classmates or an adult, you all stand up. We know who those people are. We've got a prayer team. Any of our students, these guys and girls that are standing up, if you say, I just need somebody to lift something up, just find them and say a prayer for them. Say a prayer with them. Everybody else, we're going to invite you to stand. Those that are helping sing, if you guys will come and take your place. We're going to begin with a reading from God's Word, a couple of passages from God's Word, and then we're going to try to land the plane on Habakkuk tonight. So thank you all very much. If you're watching at home, thanks for worshiping at home. Feel free to listen, to sing along. Let's all stand together, and we're going to worship. Again, our prayer team folks are in the back. Let's hear from God's Word.
Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory above the heavens. From the lips of children and infants you have ordained praise. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place, what is man that you are mindful of him, the Son of Man that you care for him? I will praise you, O Lord, with all my heart. I will tell of all your wonders. I will be glad and rejoice in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God is one God, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all of thy heart, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all of thy soul, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all of thy mind, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all of thy strength. Hear, O Israel, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all of thy heart, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all of thy soul, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all of thy mind, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all of thy strength. Hear, O Israel, wonderful, merciful Savior, precious Redeemer and friend.
We will use the words we
This is the air I breathe. This is the air I breathe. Ladies. Just as I am without one plea, but that thy blood was shed for me, and that thou didst come to thee, O Lamb of God, I come, just as I am, and waiting not to rid my soul of one dark lot, to thee whose blood can cleanse each sorrow, Lamb of God, I come, I come broken to be mended, I come wounded to be healed, I come desperate to be rescued, I come empty to be filled, I come guilty to be pardoned by the blood of Christ the Lamb, and I'm welcome with open arms, praise God, just as I am, just as I am, I would be lost, but mercy and grace my freedom bought, and now to glory in your cross, O Lamb of God, I come, I come broken to be mended, I come wounded to be healed, I come desperate to be rescued, I come empty to be filled, I come guilty to be pardoned by the blood of Christ the Lamb, and I'm welcome with open arms, praise God, just as I am, praise God, just as I am. And the church said, all right, let's have a seat. Well, the time has finally come for us to try to wrap up this series, and we got a little sidetracked last week, but it actually worked out better. But I want to try to, if you've got a Bible, I'd love for you to turn to Habakkuk 2 and 3, and I want you to lock in and get ready to dive deep tonight. We're going to hopefully have some fun like we always try to do, but we're also going to take a deep dive into Scripture and finish what I think is one of the more significant passages in all of the Old Testament, and one of the most important parts of Habakkuk, one of the most often quoted parts of this book, and one of the more important chapters that I think is going to, or sections that's going to help some of you navigate through 2020. We don't have time for a tremendous amount of review for our series that we're calling Yet. If you're joining us online, this is part 6 or 7 of this series. You can go back on the YouTube channel and find all the other parts, because it's like a movie. You don't want to just hear the ending without seeing the beginning. But chapters 1 and 2 of Habakkuk were pretty bleak. We put a magnifying glass up to this book that's a prophet that we know very little about. If you're a visitor and you go, I've never heard this word, you're not alone. Many people in our group said, I didn't even know that this was a book of the Bible. He's a prophet, and prophets often not only told the truth about the future, they did that on occasion, but they told the truth to God's people about the present. But most prophets spoke on behalf of God to the people. Habakkuk is unique in that he speaks to God on behalf of the people. He goes to God with questions, and if this is your first time tonight as a part of this series, if you're tuning in online and this is your first part, do yourself a favor and read Habakkuk 1 and 2. It's 56 verses long, the whole book. It's not going to take you long at all to read. But there's so much there in Habakkuk 1 and 2 that many of you have said. Now, without calling on you, I'm not going to ask anybody to elaborate, but if you've been a part of this series, either online or here and you're in the room, would you just raise your hand if you say, yeah, there has been something that Habakkuk said to God that I can't really believe that he said, but I sure would have wanted to have said or to have asked. Almost all of us say there are some questions. Habakkuk goes and boldly stands before God and says, God, there's some things that I don't understand. I've got a lot of questions. And God, I can't go and do what you want me to do until you answer these questions. And as a leader, I will just tell you honestly, it has been like Habakkuk. I felt like I've stood before God and said, God, if you're wanting us to lead these students, you've made it really difficult, especially this year, with everything being removed. I'm not suggesting God took it away. I'm not even saying it was a part of His design to do it. He obviously allowed it because it happened. So somebody would say, see, there's no God. I mean, you live to go to mission trips and to go to some of these events that we love doing, and God took all those away, some of your friends might say. They're like, some God that is. You've prayed for the pandemic to end, and it hasn't ended. Some God that is. We're asking those questions. You better believe that some of your skeptic friends are asking those questions. Some of you in this room even have your own doubts. And some of you may not have made a decision to follow Jesus, and you're a skeptic. We praise God that you're here. We want to ask questions together. We're not afraid of your questions. God's not afraid of our questions. We want this to be a safe place in which to ask them. And Habakkuk in the Bible asks harder questions than many of us have asked about God. What in the world is going on? What are you up to? I don't understand it. Now, this is the only review that I think is worth doing. Habakkuk is wrestling with this idea. If God wishes to prevent evil, but He cannot, then He's not powerful. If He has the power to prevent it, but He does not, then He's not good. Therefore, He's not worthy of worship. And so if God has both the power and the desire to prevent evil, then why is there evil in the world? I guarantee you somebody at your lunch table tomorrow will have this question, whether or not they've asked it. And they're saying, I just can't believe in God. We've given you these things to think about. If God doesn't exist, then all of existence has no value or purpose. There's no point. So the skeptic person that asks you these questions, the flip side of it is, okay, then there is no purpose. If you say God gives purpose to everything, the option then is no purpose. Or here's something else. If God is not powerful, then we have no hope that suffering will ever be eliminated. No hope at all. Something else. If God is not good, then He must enjoy our suffering. So all of these are problematic. And so we need to know that the skeptic has merely exchanged one answer that they don't like for another that's just as problematic. They've not solved anything by saying, so there must not be a God. So we have two choices. And so Habakkuk is wrestling with this because he's trying to figure out what God is up to. And we've said the problem for most people is not the problem of suffering, but it's the problem of God. And they just want to use suffering as a way to maybe make it easier to reject the idea of God. Now, if you're here and you have this view and you're a skeptic, know that nobody is attacking this particular view. Habakkuk wrestles with these very thoughts. We're not saying we're going to set you straight. We're all wrestling with these things. As a way of illustrating this, there's a Chinese artist. His name is Lu Bolin. Lu Bolin, this is years ago, but when his art was really well known. But Lu Bolin was often persecuted by the Chinese government. Pretty harsh government regime in communist China. And Lou Bolin was an artist whose art often spoke out against the government. So he was arrested, he was detained, he was put in prison, he was shut down. And Lou Bolin, this is a picture of him. And so he began to have exhibits of art where he would paint himself into the backgrounds of some of the places in China that either had political significance or just places of historic significance. He would paint himself into these backdrops. Requires a tremendous amount of skill to be able to do this. He said in an interview, "I can't find suitable work, and I felt there was no place for me in society. I experienced the dark side of society without social relations, and I had a feeling that nobody cared about me. I felt myself unnecessary in this world." My guess is he's not the only person who could express these thoughts. I've seen your social media posts. You've seen each other's. You feel like somebody who is just blending into the background. They're almost invisible. And in some of Lou Bolin's most spectacular works of art, where he has put himself, if you'll look, you can see him right there in the front of the train. Or he would do art that represented what it was like, that I'm virtually invisible to my government. He would find other political protest art and would write himself in. Other people would soon join him, and they would then participate in these kind of art parties. He would go to places that had historical significance and would begin, or government buildings, and would paint himself into the background. All of these are a way of saying, I just don't feel like I matter. But there could be another, this is kind of like that illustration. This is one of my favorites. Because every time I show it, there's kind of okay, all the others you saw him, and most of you by now have found him. Some of you may still have not found him, but he's right there by the front left tire. He's painted himself right there in the front left tire. And there's always a moment where people are like, oh, on that one, I can't find him. And then, as I just witnessed, some of you are like, oh, and you pointed to your neighbor, there he is. They're like, I don't know where, there he is. I'd like to suggest that what some of you just experienced, some of you just had him pointed out to you, some of you saw him and pointed him out to the other. What you just did, that little exercise, is the whole purpose of us gathering here every Wednesday. It's not just to have a social gathering or to eat a meal or to have fun or to play games or to celebrate birthdays. It is to learn to be able to recognize where God is at work and then to go to other people in the world that say, I don't see him, and you say, there he is. Because some people say, God is nowhere, but you've seen this before. If you read it another way, it says, God is now here. You don't have to change any letters. You just have to change the way you see it and the way you read it. Your skeptic friend at the lunch table and you are looking at the same letters, but somebody sees God is nowhere and somebody sees God is now here. Now, I'm not talking about a slogan on a wall. I'm talking about some of your friends will say, I just don't see God. And there are times like 2020 that make those of us who believe in God, He's been difficult to find. And we say, yeah, He still exists. And friends say, show Him to me. And like Habakkuk, we say, God, would you just make yourself a little bit easier to see? Is everybody tracking so far? I don't know if this is resonating, and whether you're a 13-year-old or whether you're, an 18-year-old or a college or older, most of us have wrestled with these things. We've looked at Habakkuk chapter 2, this particular verse that is quoted more often than any in the book of Habakkuk. I showed you the movie quotes a couple of Wednesdays back, and we looked at quotes like, you're killing me, Smalls, that even if you've never seen The Sandlot, some of you have probably said, you're killing me, Smalls, and how many of you does this get said in your family often? Right? A lot of us, okay? Maybe in your family, do or do not. There is no try. Maybe it's just my family and Pete Sullivan's family are the only ones that actually say this. But yeah, okay, very good. The Pulises, some of you will say this in your house as well. Well, you'll be glad to know that Habakkuk is actually quoted 3 times in the New Testament, twice by Paul, one by the Hebrews writer. We don't actually know who wrote Hebrews, but they quote this particular passage. Paul says, I'm not ashamed of the gospel because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes, first to the Jew, then to the Gentile. For in the gospel, the righteousness of God is revealed, a righteousness that is by faith from first to last, just as it is written, the righteous will live by faith. So Paul's quoting Habakkuk. Martin Luther, who founded the Reformation, said this verse, this passage, specifically verse 17, is what caused him to say there's got to be another way. And he totally revamped the way we understand God. It was because of one guy named Habakkuk who shook a fist at God. And then we get this passage. Let's look at another one from Galatians 3. Clearly, no one who relies on the law is justified before God because the righteous will live by faith. Remember, we said there's two ways that we think we view God. You guys remember that from a couple weeks ago? There's two ways. There's this one right here. What's that, somebody? I'm going to live by the rules. I'm going to earn my way. I'm going to earn it. I'm going to live by the rules, and I'm going to get to heaven because I'm going to go by the rules. I'm going to follow the law, and I'm going to get in. And then the other way says what? My rules. Neither way works. Those aren't the two choices. The righteous will live by faith. Let me give you another one. Hebrews, the Hebrew writer, you need to persevere. This is a good 2020 passage. So that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He's promised. For in just a little while, He who is coming will come and will not delay, quoting Habakkuk. And my righteous one will live by faith. And I take no pleasure in the one who shrinks back. But we do not belong to those who shrink back and are destroyed, but to those who have faith and are saved. Just like us saying, you're killing me, Smalls. Paul quotes Habakkuk in two different places. The Hebrews writer, this is a very quotable idea. You say, well, what does it mean, the righteous? Well, if you're righteous, doesn't that mean you followed all? No. We get God's righteousness. We get the righteousness of Jesus, and Jesus' life and His death gets transferred over to us. You guys remember the story I've told about Stacey King, the Chicago Bulls player who played in his rookie game on a night that Michael Jordan scored 69 points. You basketball fans remember this story? He scored 69 points. Stacey King scored 1 point. He got one foul shot. He's sitting in this locker room. Michael Jordan is over here at this locker. The reporters are all huddled around Michael Jordan because he just scored 69 points, and which was a big deal. And so one reporter sees that there's nobody talking to Stacey King, so he says, I can't get over there. I'll come over here. And he asked Stacey King, what's it like to be in your first game? What are you going to remember? He puts a microphone, a tape recorder in his face, and Stacey King has one of the best lines ever. He says, I'm always going to remember it as the night that Michael Jordan and I combined for 70 points. And we laugh because it doesn't seem fair to say that. He was kind of joking, but that's exactly what the Bible's talking about. When you get credit for all of Jesus' points, you feel like you can't even score 1 point. And God says, Isaac, I now see my son when I see you. You get all of his righteousness. It's not you following the rules that's going to get you in, and it's certainly not you living by your own rules that get you in. The righteous are going to walk by faith. See, we want a resolution. God, here's the problem. I want you to fix it. God, why are you doing this? We want a resolution, and God wants a relationship. I want to make sure you understand that. Some of you are writing some things down and taking notes. There's lots of things that you're going to see to take notes on. I would suggest, one, you can write them down. I'm not going to talk any slower. And I would say you can go back and watch this online. Not that anybody's dying to do that, but you can go back and there are some things, I don't say this often, there are some things in this particular message that I've thought about for a long time and I think are extremely important for a teenager to know. And I miss the days when we had a lot more students in this room. And there's people I know that are watching us online, and some people may watch this years from now. It's not about how many people see it, but my goal is that somebody in this room needs to hear it, and you'll be the person that's going to share it to somebody else. You may be the person that shares it to thousands more people than ever I will. I want to give you some definitions, and I don't mind if you want to take pictures of these. If you're trying to write them down, it's going to go fast, and you'll get frustrated. Let me explain faith, because some people say, I don't believe God because I can't see Him. The student was in my office not long ago. I can't see God. And I said, you know what? I get that you don't believe God. There's things that I don't believe in either. And they're like, oh, really? What? And I said, to be honest with you, I don't believe in wind. And they looked at me like, what? I said, I just don't believe in wind. They're like, what do you mean you don't believe in wind? I just don't. People talk about it, but I just don't believe it. He's like, well, you're stupid not to believe in wind. Like you've seen wind. I'm like, I have? How? He goes, well, look out your window. And I go, where? He goes, look. I said, I don't see wind. He goes, you're looking at it right there. And I go, I don't see it. He goes, look at those trees. I go, I see trees. I believe in trees. No, look at those leaves. I see leaves. I believe in leaves. No, look at the leaves moving. I see moving leaves. I believe in those. And he says, are you joking with me right now? That's the wind. What you're seeing is the effect of the wind on that tree. And I go, aha, so you're saying the thing that I can't see, I can believe in because I see it the way that it's affecting other things that I can see. And he's like, oh, man, I just fell for it, didn't I? And I said, well, I wasn't trying to get you to fall for something. I was just trying to get you to realize that one reason I believe in God is because I've been around for a long time and I have seen the effect. I've seen too much to not believe. I don't, like the podcast that I often listen to, I love the title of it, I don't have faith enough to be an atheist. I'll be honest with you guys, there are times that it would be a lot easier for me not to believe, because then I wouldn't have to be brokenhearted about some of the things that I'm brokenhearted about. If there was no God, a lot of things might be easier, it would seem. But faith. Faith is trusting what you see in the Word until you see it in the world. Just let that sink in for a second. Or this one. Sight is something that we see. Faith is trusting in what God sees. If you got it so far, just say, I got it. You can go back and write these down later. You can take pictures of them or you can listen later. Somebody says, well, I'll believe it when I see it. This is one of my favorites. I believe it when I see it. You've heard that before. What about faith, which says, I will believe it until I see it? I'll believe it. And this is hard. This is really difficult, guys. I get it. Faith does not mean everything will be okay, but it does mean that you'll be okay. Oh, so I'll be healed? No. Oh, so everybody that I know? No, it doesn't mean all that. It just means that if you walk by faith, God says, I am going to eventually take care of you. Faith is trusting that what God says while waiting to see what God does. These are all little sayings. They're all little definitions, but I want to help you understand what it means to believe. Talking about rearrange. This is the part now where Habakkuk has listened, and I want to make sure, I think, this is it. We talked at the fall retreat. Any of you all remember when we had this word and we lined everybody up with it? Who was at the retreat and remembers this? And then what did we do? We had people move around. They kept the same letter. They just moved around. And what did it say when we rearranged them? I pressed on. Now you go, okay, that's cute. I'm going to give you another example. This is more than just trying to be a cute wordplay. This is what Habakkuk's trying to do. Habakkuk says God, and in his first chapter and second chapter, he's a hater. I mean, he's like, I don't get it. I don't want to get it. I'm not sure I like doing this anymore. I don't know why I'm here. God, you're making my job difficult. God, I try to say, hey, everybody, God's so great. And yet you're bringing the Babylonians in to attack us. Do you realize when that happens, everybody's going to say to me, what is the point of this? They're going to laugh at you, God. They're going to laugh at me. All the Babylonians are going to laugh at your people. This makes no sense. This is the stupidest plan I have ever heard. He's a hater. Well, I heard this a long time ago, and I didn't know where it would apply, but let's just rearrange. This is great. Anybody, how many of you just spend time, I don't necessarily mean somebody maybe in your row or in your house, but how many of you just in your circle of friends, you just got somebody that is just a hater, meaning that they just always seem to talk about all the things that are so negative? Just raise your hand if you know a hater, or you've been around a hater. Maybe they're not one of your friends, but you know a hater. Somebody said a hater is a person who just has their heart mixed up. You see all the same letters there. You just move some letters around. We're not adding new letters, but a hater is somebody who just has their heart all mixed up. Now, we could spend 10 True Norths talking about why your heart gets mixed up. There are stories on every row of this room where you've had time where your heart has been mixed up. So here's what I want to do. I want you to look really quickly. We got to go super fast because I really want to finish. And so I'm going to go really quickly. I want to look in chapter 2. If you got a Bible, look there. If you want to use your device, that's fine. Don't let it distract you, but I want you to look there in chapter 2. If you got Habakkuk chapter 2 open, say, I got it. So right there in that part that we quoted, which is verse 4, the enemy's puffed up. His desires are not upright, but the righteous person will live by his faithfulness. But now the enemy, wine betrays him. He's arrogant, never at rest, because he is as greedy as the grave, and like death, he is never satisfied. He gathers to himself all the nations, and he takes captive all of the peoples. Okay, now, I'm going to go really fast because now we get into a part that's called the 5 woes. You're like, uh-oh, you got 5 points really quickly. You're going to make them. There are 5 sentences in chapter 2 that start with woe, W-O-E, right? Not W-H-O-A. I spell that right? W-O-A-H. There's probably 2 different ways I've learned to spell woe. But not the woe, not like you say to a horse. Or woe when you see something amazing. Or not like Adam when he saw Eve and he was like, whoa, woman. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when somebody says woe, W-O-E, which means great grief or sadness. If you become one of these 5 things, woe is coming to you. Now, here's what I need. 5 people, I don't care if it's guys or girls, I need 5 of you to raise your hand when you find a sentence starting in Habakkuk chapter 2, and we're going to translate them to 2020 really quickly. So if you've got the first one, I want you to tell me what verse it's in. I need 5 brave people. We've got to go really fast through this, guys. So Caitlin's got one. Tell us the verse, Caitlin, and I know people can't hear at home, so I'll try to repeat it for you. Verse 6, what does it say? Woe to him who piles up stolen goods and what? I'm sorry, I cut you off. And makes himself wealthy by extortion. Okay, now, everybody got it? If you got it, say got it. So, here, who was our Habakkuk last week? We had somebody was sitting right here and I was talking to somebody. Huh? Cody. All right, Cody, you ready to be Habakkuk again? Okay, all right. So he says, hey, Habakkuk, he says, I'm going to tell you, I'm bringing the Babylonians because I want them to understand what it means, this first woe. Let me just translate it for you guys. Woe to the one who takes what isn't theirs to take. He says, I want you to know what it's like to be surrounded by people who are taking something that does not belong to them. Because Habakkuk, when you see the Babylonians do it, you're going to get so fed up with it. You're going to get so sick of it that your heart is going to break at the things that break my heart. And you'll say, I don't like people like that. And then you'll realize you have become that. And you'll say, I don't want to be like that anymore. And you'll stop. If you got it, everybody say, got it. But then God says, when Habakkuk's like, well, what about the Babylonians? He says, I'm going to take care of Babylon. But then there's another woe. He says, hey, don't take what isn't yours. You're like, well, I'm not stealing stuff from anybody. No. But some of you in this room have taken some things from somebody that's not yours. I don't mean a pencil or an iPod or some material possession. Some of you have taken somebody's pride or their self-esteem. Some of you have taken somebody's purity or their character or their integrity or their reputation. And God says, don't let that happen to you. There's a second woe. Who's got the second one? Tell us the verse. Who's got it? Yes, Isaac, thank you. What do you got? Verse 9. What does it say nice and loud?
Woe to him who builds his house by unjust gain, setting his nest on high to escape the clutches of ruin.
Okay, so you're like, woe to him who builds his house by unjust gain, setting his nest on high. Skid, I'm not going to do that. I don't even know what that means. Woe to the one who takes a moral shortcut to get ahead of other people. So this is the person that says, you know what? If I just did this and went to this party and did this, I could instantly get into that crowd. I don't have to earn anybody's trust or respect. I can get right in that crowd if I do that. That's unjust gain. I didn't study for this test. I'm going to cheat because I really got to keep up with all my friends. And so God says, no, if you start doing that, you need to know. I'm not saying that, oh my goodness, I cheated in 4th grade. You're saying that I'm going to hell. That's not my point. My point is God says He's not worried about your algebra test. He's worried about you becoming the kind of person that says, I'll do whatever it takes to get ahead of other people. And I'll take any moral shortcut. He says, whoa, there's a third woe. What is it, somebody? Who's got it? Yes, Landon.
In verse 12, woe to him who builds a town of blood and founds a city on him.
Okay, so verse 12, if you're listening at home, woe to him who builds a city with bloodshed and establishes a town by injustice. Let's make it more simple. Woe to the one who will step on others to show you're better than them. Somebody says, I'm better than you because the color of my skin is different. Woe to you. Somebody that says, I'm better than you because I live over here and you live over there. Or I go to this school and you go to this school. Or I live in this house, you live in that house. Or I did this and you didn't do that. God says, don't become like somebody like that. You will not like who you become. These are the 5 woes of Habakkuk. He's like, if you find yourself saying, I'm better than that person and I'll do whatever it takes to show it, God says, whoa. There's another one. There's a 4th one. Who's got the 4th one? Yes, Mandy. This is a tough one. And for those of you listening at home, she just read verse 15, so you can follow along. Let's look at this one. Woe to the one who chooses not to honor God's plan for sexual purity and sobriety. God says, woe, you find yourself compromising on what you put into your bodies, or you find yourself compromising on how you treat the people that you're not married to, or the way that I made you. He says, whoa, you need to stop because you're going to become something that you do not like. There's one more. Who's got that one? Yes, you got that last one, Lily? What do you got? All right, awesome, Lily. Thank you so much. Guys, that's verse 19. If you got it, say got it. This is the one that I think is the one we need to camp on for just a minute. In verse 18, he says, of what value is an idol carved by a craftsman or an image that what? That speaks lies or that teaches lies. Now you say, Skid, I'm clear at number 5. I have never carved a statue and bowed down to it. I'm good. No idol worship going on in my house. He just says, anybody that is worshiping an image that teaches lies. I can think of a lot of those. I probably scrolled through all kinds of posts on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook just today that were images that taught lies. There are websites that some of you have probably tagged or been to that I can guarantee you they teach lies. The short-term effect you think is something that you really enjoy, but it teaches lies. I'm not just talking about pornography. I may be, even lyrics to a song or a movie or a TV show that says this is what love is, or this is how how children should treat their parents, or this is how we feel about somebody who looks differently or acts differently than us. My television is full of images that teaches lies. Is everything bad? No, that's not what I'm saying. But he says, woe to the one who worships anything that is not worthy of worship. Lily read this. Let's keep going. She said, he makes an idol that cannot speak. Woe to him who says to wood, come to life, or to stone, wake up. Can it give guidance? There is no breath in it. God says, anything that you put hope in that cannot speak life into you, he said, you're headed for woe. So I want to give you some questions. Again, I know we're moving at light speed. We're covering more ground than we've probably ever covered on a single True North. Let me give you 7 quick questions. Again, you can jot them down. You can take a picture of this screen. You can go back and listen to it later. I'm not going to ask you to, it'd be worth working through this on your own. What consumes most of your thoughts and feelings today? Today, what consumed most of your thoughts and feelings? What motivates the things you do and the choices that you make? Wherever you went last weekend, what was it that motivated that choice? What is the thing that can change your mood in a second? Question 4, what would your friend say is your favorite topic of conversation? What is something you cannot live without, and if it were to be taken away, you would not know how to function? I know if you're trying to write down right now, you're like very frustrated. Yeah, I know. I heard somebody say it. You're like, well, it's not like, it could be this, right? What or who brings the highest amount of frustration into your life? Don't answer that out loud. And here's the 7th one. What or who brings you the most comfort? Let's imagine, those questions, by the way, came from a Tim Keller book. But Tim Keller says, how you answered those questions, imagine that you all just wrote answers to all those. And all of you probably had an answer. I had answers. I didn't like all of my answers. But Tim Keller says, you want to know what your idols are? You'll get a good handle on it by your answer to those questions. Because this is what will determine what you worship. And you go, you mean like lift my hands and sing songs to my phone or sing songs to that guy or that girl in my life? No. Worthship. What you describe worth to. Now, if we're making sense so far, say, I got it. All right, we got to keep going. Because idols always come from 2 things. Control, meaning I'm going to be in charge of my life. My rules. So it could be some activity that you're in. Is it wrong for you to have a hobby or to play a sport? Absolutely not. But when that thing becomes the thing that motivates everything that you do, I don't mean it just takes up a lot of your time. It's great that some of you are disciplined. I'm saying that when your identity is defined by your success in that thing, I'm not saying it's wrong to win medals or prizes or championships or trophies or certificates. Don't hear me say something I'm not. Anything in your life that takes higher worth than God, he says, that becomes your idol. Idols come from control or fear. I don't want to give up control. And so somebody that has an addiction to something on the internet says, I want to control what I look at because I want to be in charge of, I want to be in charge of my life. And I want to be in charge of the feelings that I'm having. Fear, I don't want to give up control of that. Idols come from those two things. So, depending on how you answer those 7 questions, here's 2 words I want you to write down if you're taking notes or you're writing. And we're about to get to the part that I think is the greatest, and we've got to make time to finish. Depending on how you answer those 7 questions, your life will either end up awful, and there's probably some in this room right now that would describe, maybe justifiably so, you're like, my life is awful. You're like, Skid, I thought we had some good news. We're getting to the good news, but depending on how you answer that question, some of you are like, my life is awful. Well, what's the alternative? Awful. But when you spell it this way, it's totally different. Habakkuk says, chapters 1 and 2, God, life is awful. And he said, Habakkuk, would you just trust what you see in my word until you see it in the world? But God, how long? You've asked those questions. And so now we finally we get to this word. And we get to Habakkuk 3. Lord, I have heard of your fame, and I stand in awe of your deeds, O Lord. Renew them in our day. In our time, make them known. In wrath, remember mercy. Lock in for the remaining 8 or 9 minutes that we have. If you've not listened, if you don't like to listen, if this is boring, I get it. I don't like listening to me either. But I really want you to hear this. Because Habakkuk comes to a place where he says, I'm tired of how awful everything is. And then he realizes, after God speaks to him twice, responds to him twice, he says, Lord, I've heard of your fame, and I stand in awe of your deeds. You're like, is this the same guy from Habakkuk 1 and 2? Yeah, it is. And then he says, renew them in our day. God, do it again. So, if you have Habakkuk 3, we're not going to read it, but I just want you to look, because for some of you, look at verse 3. God came from Teman, the Holy One from Mount Paran. His glory covered the heavens, and his praise filled the earth. His splendor was like the sunrise. Rays flashed from his hand. Now, you say, okay, if you read the rest of 3, you might get a little bored and get a little lost. So here's what I want you to do. I don't know that anybody in this room is going to take me up on this. I pray somebody does. You've got a card that's in your chair, and I don't know that we're going to have time to actually do this, but if you have that card, you can pull it out. But we got to lock in. We got to go really fast. If you're still with me, you don't have to say with me if you're not, but if you're still with me, say, I'm with you. He lists all kinds of things that he has seen God do. So I asked a D group. I asked some guys in my D group, I said, they were like, wow, this part is boring. What does this mean? And I said, when was a time that you really just connected with God and you saw God? Chance, do you remember what you said? You said that you stood somewhere and you said, I'm almost sure it was you, that you saw God. Was it you that talked about being on the beach at night? What did you say about it? How small you felt, but how big God was when you stood at the beach at night and saw the reflection. Somebody else, Samuel, you said the Grand Canyon. That was you, Sam? Okay, the Grand Canyon. Do you remember what you said?
I think I said when we went to Montana, like the mountains.
When you stood at the mountains of Montana. I mentioned when I stood at the base of the redwood trees at the Muir Woods in San Francisco. Some of you have been there. Some of you have been to Niagara Falls or Fall Creek Falls. And so you said, oh God, I saw you, I experienced you when I saw. Would you just take a minute? We don't have time to do this, but I want you, on that card, if you could just write down some place or something where you said, God, and it doesn't have to be nature. Don't just think you got to pick your own nature trip or family vacation. It could be, God, I saw you when we worshiped at the City of Children, or I saw you when I held a child with a toy drive, or it could be like Wesley saying, I saw you when I danced with my friend with Down syndrome at the Journeys party. I experienced God in that moment, more so than any other worship time I ever had. had. I saw God in this moment. Write one of those moments down, because Habakkuk 3, that's all he does. So when you just say, I saw God, or I felt God, or I experienced God, just write that down. Don't put your name on these, because I'd like for you to leave them here if you feel like it. But you're going to write that down. Just a moment where you saw God. And then he remembers. He goes through story after story. If you read Habakkuk 3, he talks about the Exodus, and he talks about Jonah, and he talks about the story of Joshua. And he just says, oh God, I remember all of these things that you did. If we had more time, I'd have you write on the card something specific that God did for you that you're like, God, I remember that time that I was in this big mess and you brought this person into my life. You don't have to write that on the card, but I've challenged about 3 other churches over the past 2 months to write their own Habakkuk 3. And it starts by just remembering when you saw God. Now we've got to land the plane. So I need you to stop writing for just a minute or look up here, because then we have the reveal. The reveal is where we get to this name of this series. And you're like, finally, we got 3 minutes left, and then you get to this point here. This is it. Habakkuk says, I heard all of this, and my heart pounded, my lips quivered at the sound, and decay crept into my bones. You're like, that doesn't sound very good. No, when he hears what's about to happen, he's like, this sounds awful. Babylon coming in, my legs trembled. Yet I will wait patiently for the day of calamity to come on the nation invading us. And then I didn't want it to be on a PowerPoint slide, so I took a picture of it from one of my Bibles so that you could see it, because then this is what he says. I want everybody who has wept in 2020, and everybody who's been frustrated, and everybody who said, God, are you really worthy of worship because life is awful, or things at my house stink, or God, my relationship is in the toilet right now with my friends, or God, I can't get along with anybody, or God, this, whatever it is. I want you to look at what Habakkuk says, because this is the moment that it hinges. Habakkuk says, though the fig tree should not blossom, some of you have heard this, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and the fields yield no food, the flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls, yet I will rejoice in the Lord, and I will take joy in the God of my salvation. God, the Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's, and He makes me tread on my high places. Now listen carefully, guys. Mike, get ready to roll that in just a second. I want to make sure you understand this. For us, not a big deal if there's no figs on the fig trees, because I don't particularly like figs. I don't know how to take care of sheep. No problem if there's no sheep in the fold, because that's that much less sheep poop I got to clean up. But when Habakkuk says there's no figs, there's no olive, there's no fruit, there's no food, there's no sheep, he is describing the worst possible scenario imaginable for anybody in his day. If you understand, say, I got it. He's saying everything, God, that we need, that I need, is being taken away. And so you have to write down another thing on your verse there, on your card. Though the, whatever it is, though, somebody said, though I didn't get to go on a mission trip to a place that I love, yet I will trust in the Lord. Though I didn't get to sing songs at kids camp in the amphitheater, I'm still going to trust in God. Though I've not been able to see my grandparents since March, yet I will still trust in God. Though I go to bed every night afraid of what's going to happen to me, yet I will trust in God. You write your though down on that card. We're going to take all these and we're going to make our own Habakkuk 3. But to close out this series, I've got something that I want you to see. It's not long, but I want you to understand the last verse of Habakkuk. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to tread on the heights. You're like, what does that mean? I know it's time to wrap up. I want you to watch this short clip, because this is the way we wrap all of this up. Watch this carefully.